Have you ever taken a photo that came out way too blurry or way too dark, even though your camera was on auto? That usually happens because of how your ISO and minimum shutter speed work together. In this video, I'll break down in simple terms so you can finally get a sharper, cleaner shot every time. Hey everyone, I'm B. On this channel, I help you understand photography in a simple way. If you're new here, consider subscribing for simple tutorials and reviews that will help improve your photos. We're going to go through auto ISO and what it really means. Let's start with ISO. ISO controls how sensitive your camera's sensor is to light. A lower ISO, like 100, keeps your images super clean with no noise, but it needs more light. A higher ISO, like 3200, makes your camera more sensitive, so it can see better in the dark. But then again, you'll start to see more green. Now, when you set your camera to auto ISO, you're basically telling it, hey, adjust ISO for me so I don't have to. This is super useful when light is changing fast, like when you're moving between indoors and outdoors or shooting street photography. The downside is the camera might push the ISO too high, giving you noisy images. That's where the minimum shutter speed comes in. I use the minimum shutter speed all the time. I put a custom button right here where I can adjust it, but we'll go into that deeper in a little bit. Your shutter speed is how long your camera sensor is exposed to light. The slower it is, the more light comes in, but also the more motion blur you get. Let's say you're shooting at 1/30th of a second while holding the camera in your hands. Even the slight shake of your hands will cause blur, or if your subject moves, you'll get ghosting. This camera can handle it because it's an A7R5, but some older cameras might not be able to, like an A7 III. Minimum shutter speed is a way of telling your camera, don't go slower than this. If you need more light, raise the ISO instead. This prevents blurry photos, especially in low light conditions. So ISO auto minimum shutter speed is one of my most used features on this camera. I have it set to this AEL button right here. I usually stick to this top menu. It gives me a slow, standard, fast, and faster option. I can quickly change between these to adjust my shutter speed. The only thing I really have to worry about is aperture. If I don't get a fast enough shutter speed on faster, I'll just scroll down and I can get faster shutter speeds right here. You do got to be careful when using this feature because if your ISO is set at a maximum value, it will affect how high you can go with your shutter speed. A good rule of thumb is 1 over your focal length. For example, if you're using a 50mm lens, which this is, don't let it drop below 1/50th of a second. But for moving subjects like kids, pets, or sports, you'll want a faster shutter speed like 1/250th of a second or even 1/500th of a second. For portraits or street photography, I usually use 1/125th of a second. Now the camera will automatically bump the ISO to keep your shutter speed at or above your chosen minimum. That way you'll get sharper shots even in tricky light. To adjust your ISO in the menu, go to Exposure, ISO, and then you can scroll through what ISO you want, but I leave it at auto ISO between ISO 100 and ISO 5000 for this specific camera. I recommend using ISO auto minimum shutter speed when you shoot aperture priority, which I usually do. I really only have to worry about adjusting my aperture, and I can use any of these settings to quickly adjust shutter speed. I just want to say, don't be afraid of a higher ISO. A lot of these modern cameras can handle ISO 1600 or even 3200 without ruining the photo. This camera I have set at ISO 5000 because I really don't mind the images at that point, but I like to try to at least keep it below 1600 if I can. If you shoot video, remember to keep your shutter speed fixed, usually double your frame rate. In that case, auto ISO can really help when the lighting changes. So that's how auto ISO and minimum shutter speed work together to give you sharper, cleaner photos without constant manual adjustments. Try it out. Let me know in the comments what shutter speed works best for your style of shooting. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more simple photography tips. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.